Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Tharp, and today we are, well, it's 10 below. I've got a cold, and we are starting week three. This is where we're at the moment. There's a couple things I want to touch base with on this to make sure everybody's on the right path. So, if I go back into week two, which is the stuff, most of it was due this week, the thing we need to look at here is on the discussions, the way that the discussions work, and this is where most people lose the most points in this class. You come down here and you see the bottom part, the required group responses. So I'll get people who will post their discussion and never watch anybody else's discussions or respond to them. Well, in order for these discussions to work the way they're done in this class, we need to work together with the rest of the members of our team, because what we're doing by posting the discussions the way that we do to YouTube and then embedding them, not linking them, but embedding them in our videos, what we're doing is we are creating data on YouTube that we're going to use later in this semester. We're going to be looking at that data to try and understand how our team members have been watching our videos. So it's very important that you watch and respond to. And what I do is ask you to respond to at least three of your group members' postings. So when I'm going through um, these videos and grading, there's three things I look at. There's sometimes other things, but three things I always look at. Did you post it in the way that it was supposed to be posted? Um, did you watch and reply to um, your team members' posts, and did you do it all on time? So those three things are where the grading comes from for the different points in these discussions. So the way that the deadlines work, the due date is when you have to post your response by, and then there is one additional week for you to respond. So each time there's a discussion due after you post yours, or the deadline for posting it, you've got 1 week to watch everybody else's and respond. Now, the reason I do it that way is because there are some people that will post on the first possible day. There are other people that, and most people will post the last day. And so, in order to give everybody access to be able to respond during the time when they're normally doing the work for this class, I give that extra week for the responses so that everybody has an opportunity to go in and look after the things have been posted and get responses to it. Again, you're going to be using this data later in the semester. So I need to see that it's a conversation also, it's a discussion. Once everybody's left the room, you can't come in and join the discussion. So once the discussion is closed, you can't get those points anymore. So these are hard deadlines for the posting and for the responding to it. Now you can see the in the calendar, I've put the responses due. So you can go in and you can see what's upcoming, and so I've given you a visual thing to help you to remember that you're going to have to do that. So really, that is at this point the most crucial aspect of what you need to be paying attention to, because it's the place where most people lose points in this class. So we're going into week three, getting access to real data. And that's one of the things that I try to do as much as possible in this class is integrate your own data into, or real data, often your own data, into the exercises that we do. So this week, what you're going to be doing is the Tableau Spotify Personal Data Lab. In that lab, if you have a Spotify account, you're going to download that data, and you are going to build um, in Tableau, which is a data analytics software. You're going to build a set of reports that look at the data from your lists. If you don't have a Spotify account, don't want to create a Spotify account, there are some sample uh, lists in there. So you can complete the assignment in that way. Now, that isn't your data, so it's not as interesting, but it also doesn't require you to sign up for a Spotify account. So that's why I do it that way. And this is all walked through in here. So you will need to do that is another way that you will be using your own data. So other places that we will be doing that is we will be accessing the Google Analytics, excuse me, the Google Analytics merchandise store several times in the semester. And so you're going to start getting access to that and learning how to look at their data. Um, so there is a store that Google has for selling Google merchandise. You'll need to go in and check that all out. This week, we're going to be doing discussion 2, personal data privacy and control, and that follows up on the lab that we did on the cross-platform privacy checkup. So again, we're looking at your data. You've already done that cross-platform checkup. Now you're going to talk about it in this discussion. Uh, Coming back again, just looking ahead to see where we're at, what's coming up. We're into week 3, uh, and we have that discussion. We've got the labs going on in there. Um, by now, you should already be familiar with the chapter quizzes. That's going to continue. Um, and then next week we'll get into additional things, but this is the standard for how class is going to work each week. The thing I want to also emphasize is you need to go into this overview, because the overview sometimes provides you access to information that I don't. It always provides you access to information that isn't linked from that module. It's only provided in here, and I provide you instruction and content in those overviews. So each time you go through a module, make sure you go into that overview. And there are overviews in all of the different. So there was week 2 overview, week 3 overview. There will be in week 4. So that is the place to start each week. Go in and start with that overview. Now, as I may have mentioned before, this class is set up to allow you to work ahead but not get behind. We're already at a point where you can start working ahead. If you know that you've got a vacation or a trip or something coming up and you want to get ahead, you can work ahead in this class. And the only thing that you can't work ahead with is the responses to the discussions. So the responses to the discussions have to come in that week between when the posting is due and when the responses are due. But what that does is that it gives you the ability to work ahead. And I believe it's around week 8, nope, week 9. The last discussion that you have to provide peer review of is discussion 6. That's due April 7th. So it is actually conceivable that you can complete this course on April 7th after everybody else is posted, and you've as early as April 7th. So as we're going through, there are different things that will start coming into play, and I'll talk about those in these usually I'll have an update every week or every other week in here, just to kind of keep you on task. But you do have the ability to work ahead, and I encourage you to do that. There's going to be spring break coming up. Some of you will be traveling. Whatever your schedule is, this class is designed to allow you that flexibility. The one exception is those responses to the discussions, and they have to fall in that 1 week window. So I'm going to stop with this because I'm starting to repeat myself. And hope you guys are all enjoying yourselves. I hope make sure you reach out to me on Teams if you have any questions, and stay warm and enjoy the class. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.